Hello everyone, welcome to Capricorn rising in depth, plus Saturn, the ruler in all houses. Now the rising sign is so much more than just personality. The rising sign influences every area of your life, your home, your money, your health, your career, friendships, relationships, everything. All the details are on this video. If you know where Saturn is placed by house, please check that out. It has very important information also. If you are new to my channel, sub below. Let's begin. So Capricorn is cardinal earth. Cardinal means movable. Earth means, of course, the earth itself. So just like Taurus and Virgo, there's a down-to-earth practicality here, but this is far more than that. This is the strongest of all the earth signs. When the earth moves, everybody, what happens? It's an earthquake. Let's keep that in mind. I'll be coming back to that metaphor because Capricorn shakes the earth. Capricorn moves and shakes things and get things moving. This is the most likely sign to get to the top, the most likely sign to achieve ambition, but it's slow and it's quiet. Why? Because it's ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is ruled by the slow planet of time, Saturn. Saturn is not outwardly showy. Saturn can be shy, retiring, and this is an element the Capricorn rising has for sure. They're not always in your face. They're almost behind the scenes. You don't even know what they're up to. But what they are up to, everybody, is waiting. They have a strategy. They have a plan, but you wouldn't even know it. But to truly understand this strategy element in Capricorn, everyone, we have to get rid of the idea that Capricorn is represented by a mountain goat. I'm using these beautiful 15th century medieval pictures in my series because they're so beautiful, but really the ancient Vedic symbol is of a crocodile. And you know, it's so perfectly right for Capricorn. Capricorn, just like the crocodile, will wait silently, hidden. You won't even know they're there, but they've got a plan, they've got a strategy, and they will wait patiently. They have no end of patience until the moment arrives, and they will gobble you up or gobble anything up. They will go for what they want and they will get it. They will not fail. And this is a very good symbol of Capricorn in action, definitely. Another important symbol for Capricorn, everyone, is that of the graveyard. The graveyard, because that is where Saturn is taken to be residing in this sign in the Vedic system. This makes them acutely aware of death, acutely aware of the time factor and all of the limitations that can place on earthly life. The 8th house of their chart, you see, is ruled by the sun. Wherever the sun rules in our chart, that is always on our mind. So 8th house factors like death, change, trauma, these are always factors which Capricorns are aware of. This makes them the warriors of the zodiac. They're always concerned with what's going to happen next. What's the next thing to go wrong? They can be quite pessimistic, always seeing the dark side of life. But on the positive side, this awareness makes them realists. They see the reality of life and they are not shying away from it. In this way, Capricorns are great problem solvers. If you've ever got a problem, a Capricorn is the person that you need because they give fantastic advice to other people. Finally, Capricorns are probably the most creative people in the zodiac, a factor often looked over because Venus rules Taurus, the 5th house. Therefore, they have the most amazing and ingenious potential for artistic creativity. This must never be overlooked. And once they find their true artistic expression, they are dedicated 100% to that art form. Indeed, this dedication touches every area of Capricorn life. They are aware of this time factor, as I say, and they are not afraid to give of themselves 100% to any task at hand. In this way, they become some of the most productive people in the zodiac. Now, the second house for Capricorn is about family and wealth, and it's ruled by Aquarius. So let's consider how this will impact them. Aquarius is the sign which is a multicone home of Shani, their Lord. Therefore, this area of life, family, stability, wealth, money, is an absolute essential to their well-being. It becomes a real focus for them. Now, early family environment can be a bit tricky though, because Aquarius sometimes gives loss in some way. So there may be some loss around that early family environment, but later on it becomes more stable. Family, lineage, ancestors, who they were, tracing right back into the distant past, this becomes important to Capricorn. They like to have a sense of continuity. They can often like to make a family tree and that sort of thing. It really is important to them. Now, wealth factors are very fortunate also for Capricorn, and they can really accumulate huge amounts of wealth because a multicone Shani gives that good fortune. But it also gives a karmic factor because Aquarius indicates loss. It's a very karmic sign. At some point, there can be loss of family finances. There can be difficulties with inheritances. Why? Because the Sun is the 8th house lord, an enemy of Saturn. So this can also be seen. But even if that occurs, long term, it's a fortunate factor for building up wealth, definitely. Now, a difficult area for Capricorns is the 3rd house, ruled by Jupiter, because it also rules the 12th house of loss. So siblings are very important to Capricorn because family tradition is essential, as I've said. They want to keep in touch. They will make every effort to keep lines of communication open with their siblings, but sometimes it's a hassle. It just gives more stress than it actually gives enjoyment sometimes, but still they won't give up. But you see, siblings have a different philosophy to Capricorns here. Siblings can lead strange lives or have secrets because of that 12th house that even Capricorns don't find out about until late in life. There can even be things like half siblings popping up in their life later in life. All sorts of 12th house secretive aspects influence here as well. But on the whole, though, they do keep lines of communication open, and these are good relationships, generally speaking. But travel is not easy. Travel is a Jupiterian Piscean factor. They can have all sorts of strange things happening on their travels, like finding the map has got the wrong roads marked on it. All sorts of difficult factors happen, all because Jupiter is a little bit spaced out here and not down to earth. So they do far better when they have somebody else with them on any journey. Now, Capricorns like to escape. It's very important to them. It de-stresses them tremendously. They like to go to far distant foreign lands for sure, for escape purposes, and it's often helpful. But once again, because Jupiter is not a friend to their ruler Saturn, it often doesn't go according to plan. So it's not a serious difficulty, but it's just not a smooth area for them at all. Now, the home life is ruled by Mars in Aries, and Mars also rules 11th house. This is a bit disruptive because Mars is not a friend to Saturn. What you tend to find is that Capricorns have changeable home life. They're always wanting to move, always wanting to change the home at the very least, build a new extension, change it. There's always something that needs doing to the home. It's never settled, you often see. Why? Because the early environment was a bit disruptive also, and it's something in their psyche. Often mother was a bit pushy or wanting factors that made this child feel as though they have to keep on changing and making things better all the time. So it's a bit of an unstable area. But because Mars is the 11th house lord, Capricorns can often make their houses better. They can build a house themselves. They can build extensions. They can increase value of their home to a big extent. But having a peaceful home, having a quiet home, no, that doesn't tend to happen. In fact, the strange thing is that Capricorns often feel more relaxed, more peaceful in their work environment than they do in their home life sometimes. Now, the fifth house for Capricorn is ruled by Venus, which is their 10th house lord, and is a very successful area for them. Venus brings in good karmas from past life here to give them success artistically. Many of them, they have talent from past life and they become very successful artists, as I've said, in many different artistic fields. But it all depends on those individual karmas. If they do not have those particular karmas, they certainly have good karma with children, because children are a good factor for them. They like young people. They enjoy spending time with their kids. And they actually are very good parents because they are very relaxed. They can let down their starchy front, if you like, and just be themselves with their kids. So they're very good parents. Education-wise, they actually do well in education when it's got a purpose. Venus is their 10th lord, so they are not interested in just learning for learning's sake. No, it has to have a really good outcome in earning potential. So they love to learn when it has an end goal and takes them somewhere professionally, which it often does. It's often extremely successful for them. Now, when it comes to health and conflicts for Capricorn, this area is ruled by Gemini Mercury, which also rules 9th house. So this is actually a good area in terms of they get on top of these difficult issues in their life, mostly, particularly conflict, because Mercury is a very intellectual factor here. So a friend to their Lord Shani. Capricorns deal with conflicts, deal with open enemies, despite the fact they are a little bit shy themselves, maybe a bit retiring. When there is a real problem at hand, when there is an open enemy, when there are open disputes, lawsuits, etc., they come up to scratch. From an intellectual point of view, they think things through. They are very good at sorting out problems, as I've just discussed, and they sort out these difficult areas from a very intelligent standpoint, and they normally are successful. Now, when it comes to health concerns, though, Capricorn have to take some care because Leo, which is the cardiovascular system, rules their 8th house of hidden illness. So they can have high blood pressure and not even know about it. They can have cardiovascular issues. They need to take care. Often Capricorns are very much not concerned with their diet and concerned with taking care of themselves. That's because they are Saturn ruled and more concerned with the everyday factors of life than more detailed factors like diet and exercise. Also, Capricorns are, funnily enough, very thin people normally. If they have an affliction to their ascendant, that can change, like maybe Venus or maybe Jupiter factors, but mostly Capricorns tend to thinness, but still they can have cardiovascular issues. Also bone issues, because Saturn rules the bone, so have to take care of all of those factors like arthritis, etc. So Capricorn rising and career, there is no better blend at all. This is the most important area of their chart where they get their greatest success. Now, if there is affliction to Venus, who is the ruler here, if it is badly placed, aspected, and you need to see D10 chart, of course, then there can be delays and obstacles. But even if there are, they will not put off a Capricorn. A Capricorn is not easily deterred. They know they have a karma to make a difference in this world. And it's not about being the big star. It's not about me. It's about giving to society. Because Libra is a sign of partnership, working with other people. So Capricorns do so well when they can make life better for other people at work. Here's the thing, Capricorns change who they are when they actually go to work. They love to go to work. Home life, as I've just discussed, can be a little bit tricky for them. So they feel most at home in a working environment, and they make it a happy place for everybody else. Everybody likes to work with a Capricorn rising person. They become very popular, very sociable. It's almost like their social life happens at work. I've seen this actually occur. But one thing that will always happen for Capricorns is that they will get promotion. They will go up that career ladder no end. And it might be slow or fast depending on how Venus is actually doing for them in their chart. But they are here to go somewhere. They are not satisfied just to be hanging around with no goal in view. So very often they are promoted simply because of their dedication and their hard working factors. When they get to the top of their career sphere, very often they become the really big movers and shakers. As I say, they make a difference. They make the earthquake happen. They can change the whole office. They can change it from top to bottom. They can change the whole structure of their corporation. Capricorns like to make an impact, make a difference. But when they do this, it's not selfish. It's to make life better for everybody else. Finally, Capricorns work well independently also, but they actually have partners that benefit them if they do go into partnership, because Libra is the sign of business and entrepreneur. So this is the best sign for setting up your own business. But as I say, very often with a business partner is favored because Moon is their 7th house lord, so they get support from their partner. Even they can meet a romantic partner where they work. This can be seen because of Venus rulership. So it's an all in all successful factor. Career is normally one of the most happiest and productive areas of their lives. So Capricorn rising in relationships, it's a bit more tricky now because Moon Saturn is not an easy factor. Just like Cancer rising, Moon Saturn on this first 7th house is tricky, but in time it gets much better. If you've got a well aspected moon, you can have a very early successful marriage and it can be very stable. But here's the issue, you find it hard to share. You find it hard to really open your heart. You're a very tender-hearted, kind person, but Saturn makes you fearful. Saturn makes you afraid. So really opening up, really sharing takes a long, long time. But if you've got a well-aspected moon, then your partner, who is this moon-led individual, helps you to do these things. So this is why Capricorns actually do well in relationships despite themselves, as it were. Other people bring them out of that shell. Now, if there is a very ill-aspected moon or there are problems from other planets and D9 is not favorable and there is split in a relationship or even divorce, it's not easy for them to deal with this at all. Capricorns do not deal well with these sort of life events. Why is that? Because they value continuity. As I said, they value family, tradition more than anything. So these big splits, these big changes in their life move them very deeply. They are far more sensitive than they appear many times. So they have to be very careful who they choose relationship wise. But even if there is that, they are very attractive to other people. Moon brings people into your life. So wherever the moon is, you find new people. So Capricorns often easily find new partners if they have an even mildly well aspected moon. So it's normally going to work out well. It's all about how much can they trust, how much can they open their heart, because in the end they are very good partners, and moon often gives them a very sympathetic, helpful, loyal mate as well. Next, everyone, the importance of the rising sign Lord. Saturn is the Lord of your chart. He is like a guardian angel to you. He is walking down the path of this incarnation with you. But at birth, he was placed in a specific house, and that house indicates unfinished karma that is very urgent to be attended to, and I will be talking about that. But in addition, you may want to check out the link below for the sign of Saturn as well, because that sign also contains information about what you were doing past lives and why this specific karma has arisen. So if you have Saturn in the first house of your chart as a ruler of Capricorn, this is very impressive position indeed, but there are some issues. Your karmic destiny is to find confidence and power in yourself, to rely on yourself, to put yourself first. You didn't complete some of those factors last life. Saturn wants you, above all, to take responsibility for your life. Even if it means that you have to spend quite a bit of time alone, it's going to get you success in the end. Absolutely. So it's about responsibility for your own actions. It's about standing tall, standing straight, being who you are, not being afraid of what other people think. It's all about confidence in who you are. Absolutely. Now, because of Saturn's aspect on your 3rd and 10th house here, expected sibling issues will be a concern and career may be blocked for some time. But because Saturn is in his own sign, you will get absolute success as long as you follow your inner heart. Relationships also will be aspected here by this 7th aspect of Saturn. So a slowdown in all of these areas, sibling issues, relationship issues, career issues, may be there for some time in your life, certainly up until 30 when you have your first Saturn return. But when you get to 30, after that time, you will sail on to success because Saturn is strong here. Saturn is happy in his own responsibility. Saturn is inwardly directed here, finding faith inside yourself. So don't be swayed by other people. Don't let sibling concerns bother you. Don't be concerned by roadblocks in your career. You're going to find success in the end for sure because Saturn is happy and secure in his own sign. Now, if Saturn is the Lord of your chart and placed in your 2nd house in Aquarius, it's a dual aspect here. First of all, it's going to give enormously strong karma in your family environment. There can be great challenges in your early childhood, great difficulties which you have to overcome. Family issues, home environment can be very challenged for you, but you are very loyal. You have great loyalty to your tradition, to your family, and you will be called upon to support members of your family many, many times. So this is the absolute karmic destiny for you here. So you have to really put aside many other aspects of your life to fulfill this for sure. You need to watch out for business partnerships too and for financial aspects. There can be loss here. There can be challenges from business partners which you have to overcome. But long term, it's very good for your stability, and your financial outlook is normally very good indeed. So when Saturn is the Lord of your 1st house in your 3rd house in Pisces, there's a lot of karma coming from family in your karmic destiny here because Saturn is your 2nd Lord. So family insecurity, a changeable early environment, most definitely. It makes you feel a bit alone in the world because Saturn here makes you turn inwards. It can actually make you a bit introverted, some of you, but for the good part, you have to deal with a lot of sibling issues, father issues, family contentions that actually make you a good communicator. You become the mediator. You become the one who has to solve a lot of problems. So long term, this is a very difficult karmic start, but it gives you a lot of talent later in life. You're a very good writer, a very good communicator, and this will absolutely help you gain success for sure. Now, when you have Saturn as your ruling planet from Capricorn has gone into the fourth house in Aries, you've got some challenges from past lives coming forth. They're going to show in your early family environment. Mother relationship can be strained for some of you. Most important factor, though, is that your own inner confidence takes a long time to build. You really want to feel stable. You really want to feel secure, but the rung is being pulled out of your is being pulled out from under you rather all the time. Life is always shifting, life is always changing, and you're just trying to pin it down. So finding a true sense of where you belong in life is a real challenge for you. But this is again what your actual karma is. Your actual karmic destiny here is to make a secure environment, a secure home life. But it's going to be a challenge. You have to check how Mars is placed to see if you have some help there. But the good thing is that you gain stability in this life over time. You finish in life in a far more secure, far more healthy place than you actually began. And you look back with great satisfaction at the amazing amount of obstacles you have successfully overcome. So Saturn as your ruler in Capricorn has gone into Taurus in the 5th house. You're going to face challenges from other people, 7th house, and from larger groups and friendship groups as well. You're going to find it really difficult to know what people want of you. It's all past karma coming back here. So what have you got to do? You've got to stay calm and stable. Saturn Taurus is about providing security for other people. It seems really hard to do because you feel like other people aren't dependable, but still you have to give that security, particularly children. A very strong karma here that you have to fulfill. So the absolute point is endless patience here, and in the end, things work out for you far better than you could hope for. Not to become impatient, not to become suspecting other people, but trusting other people, and most of all, trusting yourself is the absolute karma here. So Saturn as the ruler of Capricorn has gone to the 6th house in Gemini. Your karmic destiny, unfinished business, is to deal with family conflict, to deal with litigation, to deal with all sorts of outstanding factors that require legal intervention very often. Workplace conflicts, there will be many, but you will deal well. Saturn gives you strength here. Saturn destroys enemies. And Saturn also here makes you very intelligent indeed. So you may actually go into law or to some sort of field where you are dealing with these factors yourself. One final thing though, watch health, particularly watch bones, because these may be very difficult areas for you. But Saturn gives you discipline here, so it's all about getting on top of these difficult legal litigation factors at some time, particularly around Saturn return. Probably they will come to the fore then for sure. So Saturn, the Lord of your ascendant, has gone to the 7th house in Cancer. This is challenging for sure because Saturn aspects all of those security aspects: father, mother, home, and self. You go through a lot of insecurity early on in life. Home life is very, very challenging. Parent relationships can be very difficult for you. There may be loss, separation. So all of these are definite past life karmas coming to the fore. But the immediate karmic factor is that you have to stay calm in relationships because you need other people very much. You look to other people. Cancer here makes you emotionally enthralled with other people, and you lose a bit of self-control. So Saturn here is about not forcing relationships, letting them take their own course. Saturn here is about trusting yourself, your own instinct, and not going along with other people just because you want to please them. You really want to please other people here. You really want to bend over backwards for them, and it isn't always the actual way forward. Saturn here is going to give you good relationship eventually over time, because Saturn only delays factors here. So it's about patience, it's about caution, and the most important karmic factor is turning to yourself, turning inwards to get that deep feeling of security. That's really important here. So Saturn, as your ruling planet, gone into the 8th house in Leo, is going to give you the ability to overcome great change in your life. Even when things are turned upside down, because Saturn is the Karaka here, strong in this house, you will survive very difficult traumas that would really harm other people. You come out on top of them. But the thing is that Leo is a fixed sign and a difficult place for Saturn. So what holds you back in life is not wanting to take advice, not listening to teachers, authority. Anybody in authority, you find it difficult because of past life situations. So that's going to hold you back. But on the whole, Saturn simply wants to help you to gain inner strength and wisdom here, but you do need to take help from other people when it is offered here. Financial factors with your spouse have a definite karmic factor. There can be a big loss here. There can be a big conflict here sometimes for some of you, but many other factors have to be seen. And business finances can be severely disrupted also. But once again, Saturn makes you the winner long term. Saturn controls the situation from this house, and you actually find that things work out for you no matter how disruptive they are long term. So it's a karmic destiny of staying calm amid chaos. That's the basic lesson here. So Saturn, ruler of your chart, has gone to the 9th house in Virgo. This is very good in some ways. It gives you a very philosophical nature. You are deeply philosophical, deeply interested in knowledge that takes you beyond material existence. And this helps you because many Capricorns can struggle to integrate this knowledge, but you will not. Some of it may come from a guru or father, but there can be struggle with the guru and struggle with your father as well sometimes. Again, this is absolutely karmic here. You are here to make a difference, to educate other people. You are here to spread the knowledge. That is most definitely what you are here for. So, foreign travel, higher education, many delays, many difficulties, but still, you are here to make a difference. You are here to instruct higher knowledge for sure. So Saturn, as your ruler, has gone into Libra in the 10th house of your chart. This is very powerful indeed. You didn't complete some career situation past life. You either didn't get promoted or you had to give up on some career due to other factors which you had to fulfill. Now you will get the success which you lost, but because of good karma, it will come much more easier to you. So particularly when you have good aspects on this Saturn, or you have support from other planets, you will get great career success for sure. But Saturn aspects your 4th house, so home life may be more difficult in some way. But you see, Saturn is here to take you to those heights which you did not attain last life. And your definite karmic destiny is to make an impact that helps other people. That's because Libra is always about making life better for everybody else, for sure. So Saturn, Lord of your 1st house, has gone into Scorpio in the 11th house. This is a very strong position, but has some quite heavy karmas, because Saturn Scorpio shows a lot of transformation, change, and even danger in your past life. You will feel this in the core of your being. It gives you this real feeling that you have to push ahead and overcome obstacles. You're a very secretive individual. You hold a lot inside, but no matter what you have to overcome, you will always start afresh and succeed. You have tremendous resilience. So Saturn is going to give you some rewards here. He's going to help you to build so much wealth, so many assets here. If you get good aspects on this Saturn, it's extremely fortunate for this aspect. But still, you're going to find that you have to do it for yourself. It's going to be all about you making it happen, because Saturn in this house makes you have to do it alone. You would rather have more support than what you get, but that's all part of this karmic bargain here. So make the most of this great strength and this amazing resilience, which you certainly have. So Saturn, your ruler, has gone to the 12th house in your chart in Sagittarius. You definitely have unfinished karma in foreign lands. At some point you're going to go to somewhere new, far away from where you were actually born, where you have to complete karma there, definitely. It's not going to be difficult for you as long as you don't have too many challenging aspects. But Saturn is about finding your way, because you lost it last lifetime, particularly philosophy. You're going to find a new philosophy, a new inner faith here. Saturn is about being a bit of an introvert here, being a bit of a loner sometimes. You need a lot of time on your own. You definitely need this. Why? Because last lifetime you didn't take that time to find who you are spiritually. So this life is a spiritual quest. Absolutely. Even though this is a very down-to-earth practical sign all about achievement in life, part of your life will be spent in some faraway place where you have been before, definitely, and you have to finish off karmas there. Final thing is, Saturn is very good here for controlling expenses. So you, even though this might upset career and it might take you off onto a completely new path, you will always make up financially here. Saturn is having a 3rd aspect on your house of family. So this may take you far away from your family, and it can cause a lot of contention for you, but still it is your definite destiny to go there. So thanks for listening, everybody. On the screen now is a video about Saturn in all signs to help you understand those important karmas. If you are new to my channel, sub below. Coming up soon, more videos on Vedic and indeed all astrology. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.